Hey guys, we're gonna start in 5 to 10 minutes. If you have any sales calls or something like that that you want me to review, please put it in the chat. If not, then I'm just gonna give you some nice topic. We're gonna basically fuck with your brain, okay?
Okay.
How is everyone?
Hello.
Hello, Matush. I know it's Matt now. Matthew, how you doing, bruv?
Very good, nice.
There isn't such a word as very good, nice, but
Yeah, I know.
so give me 1 second. So does anyone has a sales score to review, or do you just want guys to go over just, for example, the sales process and we can train certain parts of it?
Yeah, I have no,
Should
I
be
have
good.
nothing to show.
Okay, he has nothing to show you. You're up. That's why I'm okay. All right. So from what you have guys seen so far when it comes to sales score reviews, is there any particular part you will want to dive deeper into? Because I'm thinking I can either walk you again through the sales process just to assure myself that you remember it, or we can just take train particular parts of it. Like, for example, let's say discovery part of it.
Yeah, I think the investment part is like the tricky one for me. Like every time I see like the last call I saw that, and I think it's just like the math thing to do this like quickly to put a
Okay.
price.
Cool. Then let's jump to the pricing. One of you, Marcus, you said you have mentioned it. Just share your screen, go to your presentation, go to the investment parts, and then just calculate some things. Yeah, we're gonna do math. Woohoo. Fucking hate math.
Let me
But it makes money.
uh, here you go. So let's say
It's loading. Give me 1 second. I know Matus if it's also loading on your. Oh, yeah. Now I can see. Yeah, you can say. You can speak.
so let's say I'm just gonna try to
Actually,
do this.
before you speak, do you want a live example? Like you can, for example, ask Matus a couple of like discovery questions, and then you can run calculations, and then you can calculate the investment. Or do you want
Okay.
to ask a specific question?
No, for example, like the average listing price.
Mhm.
Let's say it's $400,000.
Yeah.
This will depend on the commission, right?
What exactly?
The next step, like minus 3.5%. It's like is in the discover call that I will know the commission.
Okay. This
And
part of the
then
call.
let's
And
say
yeah.
it's 3.5% commission.
Mhm.
So it's 38,600. Okay, so the agent will have a commission of no. Okay.
I already know the number. Okay, while he's calculating, Matus, if the average listing price, Jackie too. Oh, sorry, Jake, the dog.
Yeah, sorry.
If the average,
$14,000.
oh fuck me, I wanted to give them a task as well. Yes, that is correct. 40,000.
Okay. So this price is, do I have to, like for example, the retainer and the ad spend? It's like so I have it noted here.
Okay, Marcus,
Yeah.
think for a second. What do you want to ask specifically? Because I have 3 different directions in my head in which you want to go.
Is
I'm
the
not on the
build
word. You don't
fee-
need to say anything while you're thinking.
Yes, the build fee. If it's a
What
good
is the
build
build fee?
yeah.
Okay. It also depends how many closes this realtor then makes. Do we assume that the realtor is making only one close per month?
Let's say 3 per month.
Cool. Then it will mean that the realtor is making 42,000, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. You can take the maximum of the setup of the build-up fee. You can comfortably charge them 7,500.
Okay.
And then you can also make a higher retainer. Because in this case, it means that the person will be able to handle leads coming in, will be able to close them, which means you can also charge them more because he's going to make more money.
Okay.
If, for example, your realtor in this hypothetical scenario would only close one person per month, it will mean that he's only making 14,000. So in that case, you're not able in the first month, what, 8,500 off him, because most of those people are not even able to manage their finances properly. So in that case, for example, something in the realm of 50% of it would be probably doable, which will mean that you have, for example, the opportunity to charge them, let's say, 4,500 build-up fee.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a certain percentage you want to calculate of it. It's just basically, it may sound retarded, but over time, you have a gut feeling for it. If you want to also understand someone's financial mindset, you can literally ask the prospect on the call and be like, on the side note, granted, it's not going to change anything to the price of it, but what do you think, how much does it cost? Because then you can also understand if you are overcharging or if you are undercharging. Because the last thing you want to do is undercharge, especially when, by your example, someone's making 42,000 and you will sell yourself for 2,000. Because in my eyes, from someone who's making more than that, I will generally think you're too cheap to bring me any results.
If we think about the question we ask after that, how many homes do you need sold for everyone to know your name? Do you keep it like 2 homes? Just to is there a way to like another strategy that I can use like to use like 2 homes and the price of 2 homes to establish the price of the build fee? Can it be a strategy?
You mean over the whole year? So as an example, if someone is making 28,000, yes?
Yes.
And then you want to have 28. So what you're thinking of is using 28,000 as something that can be spent for a year of a corporation.
Yes, yes.
You can do it. Absolutely. Like, you need to understand the ROI breakdown is there just so the prospect understands, wait, your service is not that expensive. Because if, for example, in your example, yes, you're gonna charge someone for a year of working with you together 28,000, the likelihood of you bringing him only 2 people is like almost impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no fucking way in 12 months period with the branding, the recognition, everything like that, you're gonna be able to bring him 2 people. Like, it's gonna be at least somewhere in between from 5 to 20. It can be more, it can be less, but the ROI is 100% there.
Okay.
Because especially like in certain times in every market, especially when it comes to real estate, let's say Trump has been now elected and let's say people make money with his meme coin. There are going to be there are going to be people who want to allocate this budget into something that is tangible. So for example, let's say a house. And then they are going to be more than willing to do, for example, spend $1 million on it because they can pay cash. So then, for example, if your realtor has a house like this that they are interested in, then his provision is also going to be higher.
Yeah, good. That's
There
all.
are different ways how you can do this. Granted, the way of thinking that you are trying to put in here is not bad. Honestly, I just do it every time on a gut feeling.
Okay.
Because by the end of the day, like you don't want to undercharge, you also don't want to overcharge, but you also want to work with someone.
Yes.
Unless the person is just a cheap fuck, because then that's gonna cause you extreme huge headache. Because the worst clients I ever had were people who were not able to afford you. You have bent yourself over. You gave them an olive branch, and they just want the whole fucking tree
Exactly. Because
they
I
are not
thought,
familiar with money.
yeah, I thought that they're like inverting like how many, just how many homes do you need to
Yeah.
everyone know your name could make a I could qualify the client for me if it's less than, like, if it's just a home that he wants to pay, I'm out,
Yeah.
because it will not cover the ad spend, the retainer, and the build fee. So thank you. Good evening. I'm not interested,
That works. But like, this is generally how you can reverse engineer it.
Yeah. Okay. It answers my question.
Wow. Any other
Good.
questions in terms of pricing? Does anyone has questions about
No.
pricing? By the way, Kevin, please turn your camera on. Oh, you're in the car. Never mind. Turn the camera on. Unless you're gonna crash, then please turn the camera on. So we can obviously assist you, not to.
No,
laugh at you.
I'm just in a lot, so you're good.
Okay. Kevin, do you have any specific questions?
I just wanted a few minutes. Like, do you have a schedule of the meetings you booked?
Yes.
Do you mind sending that to the group so I can have a look?
Let's discuss it after meeting, because I'm not sure if you mean the group calls or you mean the other thing, but sure. Let's speak later.
Okay.
Okay. So is pricing clear for everyone? Does everyone understand how to calculate pricing?
Not from scratch.
Why? Hmm?
But like from scratch, like mid
Yes.
call. I think roughly.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have an idea. I have a great idea. Jake and Matthew, please do a role play where I don't care which one starts. One of you is gonna ask the other individual discovery questions to assess how much is the other one making. I want you to calculate how much are you making monthly, and then what would you be able to, realistically speaking, charge them. I don't know if you want to play rock, paper, scissors, or which one is more assertive.
I can ask the discovery. So find my 5. Okay.
Don't worry, take your time.
No, how many houses have you sold this year?
This year, I already sold 3 houses.
3 houses. And what was the average value of these houses?
It's around $400,000.
400,000. And what's your commission?
Hey,
with these
stop.
houses?
Can you guys fucking start using some other numbers? Every fucking call that we have, you're using the same number you're familiar with. This is not how you learn calculation. Be more fucking creative. You can even go with more difficult numbers.
God, let me get a pen then.
Okay,
Please
so
give them a
the
different
average,
number.
yeah, okay, so the average listing price of the numbers I sold already this year is around $700,000.
700,000. Okay. And what's your commission with these?
It's 3%.
3%. Okay. So with each house you're making roughly 21,000? That's your commission?
Yeah.
Okay. Not too bad. And how many houses would you sell a
Wow,
month?
you have just you just complimented the prospect.
Okay, yeah.
Would you want to kiss him on the neck as well?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay. 21,000. Well, that's something we can work with. Okay. And could I say that, or is that still a compliment? If we said, oh, that's something we can work with.
It's fine. If someone will tell to me 21,000, I'll be like, okay.
And how many houses have you sold this month?
This month, it's still
Okay,
just
you
3
retarded.
houses.
You retarded. You said to
Good.
him this year. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
new
that's
year.
true.
It's January. He said 3 closes.
3 close. Okay. And is 3 how much averagely would you close a year? Or is it always 3?
It depends on the month, but I would say that especially last year, I was able to sell at least 5 homes per month.
Okay. 5 homes per month. That's not bad. So 60 for the year. Okay.
By the way, you can also reconfirm this with him. So when he says 5 per month, okay, so does that mean in the last year you have closed roughly 60?
So in the last year you closed roughly 60 houses, yeah? Okay, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. So will we say you're making roughly, I don't know, 1,200,000?
I think you're terrible at math.
Bad with numbers. If I can put the numbers together. So you're making 12K roughly a year,
Yes.
give or take. Okay. Yeah, so I worked out the math. He's making 21K a year or 12K a year. Right?
What the fuck do you mean 12?
12.
Doing the maths there now. 60 houses.
60 times 700,000.
Okay, how much has he made in the last year?
420,000. No?
Please walk me through your calculations.
I did 7,000 by 60 per house.
7,000.
Yeah, he's doing a commission. So 3% of.
No. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matus. You said your average listing price is 700,000. Your commission is 3%, which means you are making
21,000 per
with-
house. 21,000. Sorry, I did 700 per house. 21,000.
I don't know where you got the 7 from, not gonna lie.
I just did the 700,000. That was the house. I just put it in my head as a listing.
So how much? How much has he made last year?
1.2 million or 1.25.
Wonderful. There is a difference in between 12,000
Yeah.
and 1.2 million.
Big difference.
Because then, based on this calculation, how much has he how much has he made in a month?
In a month, he's made what? 12? Oh, the fucking hell.
12. Okay, think for a second in silence. Marcus?
105.
Correct. You know, there's a difference between 12,000 and 105,000 in a month.
Yeah.
Because based on his numbers, you're dealing with intellectual buyer.
Okay.
Based on your numbers, you're dealing with emotional buyer. So if you're gonna handle him like an emotional buyer, he's gonna tell you to kindly go fuck your mother. And I mean this in the most respectful way. Because if you will treat me as someone who makes 12,000 per month, I will not continue speaking with you.
Okay. So get your maths
And
right.
also based on that calculation, you're not based on your calculation, so 12,000, how much would you charge him to start with you?
Probably 3.
Yeah. And if he makes 105,000 per month?
Probably like 10.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
he
big
is
difference.
able to even put more ad spend. Like it's not even, at this point, it's not even only about your profit or cash collected. It's even about the possibility that he can, for example, put towards the ads. where you can
Okay.
comfortably speak to him. Hey, realistically speaking, it will be 7,500 setup fee. We will start humbly with 1,000 ad spend, which is an industry standard, and a retainer of 1.7. But then progressively, I would say in the second or in the third month, I will comfortably just put more into the ad spend, so we can just speed up the results, or even just get you more leads coming in, especially since you say you're able to handle more. Because throughout the discovery, I in this case, I have assumed you will ask him if he's able to handle more. Obviously, this also depends on how many leads has he actually spoke to, what's the conversion rate is from leads into interested people to then closes. But like based on the fact that he has closed 5 people every month, even with let's say 10% closing rate, which is not really high, it will mean that he has dealt with roughly 50 leads, which he can comfortably take probably 200. So with the same conversion, he will make 20 closes per month. So with the same calculation, you will be able to make him 500,000 in a month.
Big
So
difference, yeah.
if he's gonna make 500,000 with like, let me put it this way: this is what you guys.
He's
need to
making
understand when it
500,000 and I'm
comes to-
charging him 2,000. He's definitely going to think, oh yeah, it's cheap,
Yes.
too cheap.
It's not even that. He's generally gonna be confused and gonna be like, so wait a second, if I'm paying him 3,000 and maybe by the end of the year I'm gonna spend what, round up 20, and he's gonna make me what by the, why the fuck is he charging me 20? I will think it's a scam. Because
Okay.
realistically speaking, if you're able to make someone 500,000 in a month, do you charge 20,000?
No. That makes sense now. It does. That's clear.
All right, let's do another example. Matthew, ask Mr. Lima something. No, he's Activision. Guys, I need you to do me one favor every time when you join this meeting. It's gonna be Activision. This one is gonna be Jake the dog.
I asked
Matthew,
everyone at work today, do I look like this guy? Not one person agreed with you.
people you work with are just blind. It's okay. I
The same about
expect
you.
you guys when you come to the meeting, you change the name here. But like, don't change it on Zoom. And the last thing I want to see is one of you hopping on a sales call and having Jake the dog or Activision in the name. But
still
Activision
fine.
can pass. Activision can pass. He can probably say, "Oh, one of my clients was Activision" or some shit like that.
Could that actually be a good tactic? Start your call and say, "Oh, sorry, I was doing a call for Activision. I'll just change that over."
Yeah, but then why is your name Activision?
Because you were them, like you were doing a marketing call for them. You're like, sorry, I was doing a meeting for Activision. Sorry, I'll just change it back over.
On the basis that the real estate agent is gonna know what Activision is.
True,
In USA, they should know.
They should know, yeah. Call of Duty, who doesn't?
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
even play Call of Duty, and I know.
Activision, please figure out how much. No, Matthew, ask Activision. Do the discovery part with him and then calculations.
Okay, so Activision, how many deals have you closed last year?
2.
2?
2.
2, okay. And what is your average listing price?
500.
500. Okay, and your commission fee?
4%.
4%. And
I'm genuinely confused. Are you guys actually like in need of taking so long for the calculation? Like there was a huge pause.
No, I'm just not sure what to do next. You want me to calculate pricing when he sold on the 2 houses last year?
Well, granted, Activision gave you a retarded example, but that's also something you're gonna see in real estate market because of like the entry barrier of real estate agents is super low. And you will also notice that a lot of people, especially when it comes to women, like I'm not generalizing, when it comes to women, They, had kids grew up, moved on with their own life. The women are just being bored. So then they decide, hey, why not real estate? And they for example, do real estate. And funny enough, in some cases, the husband is paying for all the expenses so they can enjoy their new hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, you need to understand how does that look like? Because if she's, for example, a single mother, it means she's not able to afford food. Because that will mean she made 40,000 in the last year. Granted, I speak still about the man, but she, which will mean she made 3,000 every month.
Mm-hmm.
So I will generally just want to figure out more about her situation and be like, bread is expensive nowadays, isn't it? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but people on minimum wage make more. And this, again, you're not doing in a disrespectful manner. This is an emotional buyer in that case.
Mm-hmm. So you need pain. So I said that you need pain and emotions.
No, you just need to figure out why has she not done more.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Okay, and
Okay.
what is your way to calculate monthly, like how much he's making monthly? Because if I remember it right, you use something a little bit different than me. You are using.
Oh, I'm retarded when it comes to calculations. I was never good at calculations in school till I figure out how my brain works. So normal people, when, for example, they calculate the percentage, I say normal, I don't know your guys' brain. Normal people, if I'm not mistaken, they do, for example,
use his number, like 500,000.
So
I moved the decimal.
yes, he moves the decimal. Exactly. This is how most people do it. You can explain in a second how you do it. I'm gonna tell you how I did it. Do you have his number?
What was
Oh,
500,000?
actually, so Jack, calculate this. 500,000 is the listing price. He has
Yep.
sold 2 houses in the last year. He's making 4% commission.
He's making on one house 20,000, so he's made 40.
40 in a year, and then just spread it over a month, throughout the whole year. Yes, so it's gonna be 3,333. That's easy because then Matus, you have 20,000, then just times 2, you have the whole year, and then divided by 12, you have monthly. How I calculate percentage is 500,000, and it's a very retarded way. Instead of just like pushing the zero, what I do is just simply 500,000 minus 96%. And then I have 4%.
My brother does it that way.
Outside.
It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense.
Yes, because that's why I'm saying I've been taught in school how you have learned. I've been fucked. But then one kind Ukrainian teacher saw how I'm calculating things, and she realized, oh wait, this is not how your brain operates. Then she showed me another way, and she was like, oh my God, you're good at math. I'm like, yeah. I was just not able to calculate it the way you fucking did. And I was thinking that I'm wrong because of it. So it's either decimal moving, or it just like you put the minus and then the percentage that you don't need.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, probably yes.
Probably run the fucking calculations. Okay, Jack,
Yeah, it's at 100
before I'm gonna kill him.
So if you look at it this way, it's at 100% always. So when you move to 10%, you're just moving the decimal 1. So say if it's 500,000, now it's 50. Then it's 1%, you move the decimal again, it's 5. That's just the way I do it.
That's also the way I do.
Oh yeah, that just makes sense to me.
Find out the 1% and then 4%.
Yeah. Once you have 1%, you can work out all of them. Like that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's also a way to do so.
Okay.
Look, I'm not a fucking math teacher. I don't fucking care how you got to the result as long as the result is correct.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna give you minus points because you have not calculated it the way I want. As long as the result is good, I don't give 2 fucks how you came there. So please, another number. Now Activision. your question.
I have a question. In the previous example, when you said you can then increase the ad spend from 1,000 to more, can you also increase the retainer in this case? Like, what is the max in this case? Like, I don't know if I would charge 1,000 for retain.
No, in this case, in the specific case where a guy is making 105,000 per month, you can comfortably put him in a higher retainer.
Okay.
But then you will need to be able to justify it without justifying your existence. Because you need to understand this guy is not going to understand your running costs. So there is a chance he's going to ask you why. And if you're going to be able to answer it properly, then he's not going to have any issues because this money doesn't matter to him. But if you're going to start justifying your own existence, like, oh, because you know this is so expensive, that is so expensive, because you're going to act in a way of fear, he's going to just smell your fear. He's not going to move forward because it's going to seem to him like you are not on the same financial mindset as he is. If you want to, we can do a role play in that manner.
Okay.
I just need some numbers. Oh, my vape is dead. I need a cable. I'm gonna be back. You guys can like ask questions. I'm still here.
Oh, okay, question wise at the moment.
Okay, do you guys want to run some more calculations?
I think I'm all right.
Okay, I'm gonna say yes, and this time please use more fucking complicated numbers than the ones that are all with fucking zeros, because this is the easiest math you can do. Jake and Activision, please.
Okay, I'll do the numbers. I'll be the real estate agent.
Okay. So how many houses did you sell?
I've sold 5 this year.
How's the average listing price?
About 600,000.
Okay, actually, stop. Okay, I want you guys to, first of all, you're a dumbass because you once again use the fucking number that's super easy. When I mean complicated, just use, oh,
I
it's
didn't want to throw a 5 in there. Okay, I can throw 655.
784.856 thousand.
I do
Okay, what I want you
450,000.
guys, stop. What I want you guys to do is when you, even in the role play of discovery questions, please utilize your brain and formulate it the same way as you will use on a sales call. As an example, okay, so realistically speaking, how many closes did you make this year so far? Or the next question will be, okay, so average listing price in Texas, for example, is 360,000. Is this the same realm that you're operating in, or what were the average listing price that you were working with? And then when you ask the percentage of provision, don't be a fucking dumbass and ask, so how much have you made? But ask him, normally when we work with our clients in a similar region that you are working in, we know that they are making roughly 5% provision. How does it look like in your case? So please try again.
Okay, so 5 houses in the last year. The average price in North Carolina, an example, is $1,000. What was your average price
Around
last year?
480,000. 485,000.
480,000.
80,000. There you go. Yeah, that one.
Okay, can you repeat that?
Yeah, 185,000.
100.
Sorry, 485,000.
485,000.
85,000.
Okay.
In
So
this case, what you will say, sorry, Jake, but do you even know what listings you were working with? You just told me 8 different numbers, so what is it?
okay.
485.
You want
That's
to
what it actually is.
you want him to make understand that he's stupid.
Okay. So, and your commission, what is it?
It's around 5%.
Really? No, stop.
No?
Marcus,
That was a
currently,
bad
you know
way
what
to
you- no,
ask.
Marcus, do you know what you just did? It's like
Hi.
it's like I'm gonna tell you what you did. I'm gonna give you a very retarded example. I'm not
Okay.
gonna be able to publish this recording whatsoever. It's similar to as you will have a sex with a woman, and she will out of nowhere just tell you, and now put it in my ass. No spitting, not allowed. So please
Okay.
use a little bit of your brain and ask the question again.
Okay. Do you work with commission with a broker or no? I don't.
Oh.
What's the question? I don't know what to ask.
What you want to say? You took an example of North Carolina. You can see it's most cases it's not really dependent on the brokerage. It's dependent on the state. Sometimes the brokerage takes a percentage. So what you want to do in this case is ask him, okay, so normally when we work with real estate agents in North Carolina, they get roughly 5% provision. How does it look like in your case? What's the provision?
Okay.
Or what is your average take home?
Okay, roughly 4%.
So just let me, okay. So the average commission in North Carolina is 4.5%. You are the same.
It's not a word.
You work with
like
the
a
same.
cow.
You work with the same commission or it's different?
Always the same.
Okay. So you said 5 houses. Is it in the last year? Okay. Fuck.
It was 500 this month. And it's usually 500 a month. Oh, sorry, 5 a month.
Okay, I got lost.
Which part?
The commission 4.5.
Okay, where did you get lost?
He said for
Hey, let me ask you this. How much is he making on this listing? What is his average take home?
let me no, doesn't make sense.
It's an F. You're gonna go to summer school. Matthew,
Almost
how much has he made with one closing? Don't fucking say almost. I want a specific number.
21,825.
Correct. Mr. Activision, do you know how he
Yes.
got to that number?
485,000 minus the commission plus 5 houses, 2.3. I got it.
Brother, what?
Like the whole year, no?
No, in the whole year he has made 109,125. Okay, walk me through your calculations. We're gonna see the issue pretty quickly.
So 485,000
Yes.
is the average price.
That is the liquid, yes. That's the average
Yes.
listing price. Now,
Um,
what is his average take home?
4.5.
Correct. So what is 4.5 of 485,000?
21,825.
Correct. So this is how much he has made with one close. So how much is he making in a year?
109. 125. Okay. Okay, got it.
So how much is he making in a year?
1.3 million. No,
Wait, am I what?
it's not that.
Like Jake,
So did you say
Jack
one
said,
point?
yeah, but Jack said that he was able to sell 5 houses per month last year.
Yes, you asked him. Okay, I know where you did the mistake. You have did 21,825 times 5, correct?
Exactly.
And then you did it times 12, correct?
Yes.
This is incorrect because he has closed
The year was 5.
year, not in a month.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So how much has he made in a year?
109.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's try again. I don't know, Chinese is dead, I guess. Probably ate a raw octopus and it just sucked on his neck from the inside. Matthew and Jake, please do a proper fucking discovery and then do proper calculations.
Okay, Jack, so the average listing price our clients usually work in Florida is around $450,000. So what is your average listing price?
I usually work with 690,000. That's usually my rough. 690.
Okay, and the average commission fee of our clients is around 4.5%. Is the same is the same with you or
I'm 5%.
5%? Okay, and how many deals have you closed last year?
In the year, I did about 50.
50. Okay, so 143,750 per month.
So the question, like you have formulated this as, like, if I would be a prospect, I would be fucking confused.
Yeah, no, that's the final
What
number
is it
per
that
month.
you are asking the prospect? No, what you want to do is, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, Jake, but then does it mean that per month you are making growth roughly 143,000, something like that?
Spot on.
43
Yep.
if you round it up.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you see a difference? Because I'm comfortable with those numbers. The way you said this was like you have never seen that number in your life. Like you need to feel more comfortable with just calculating it and just confirming with him. Because then it seems like you're speaking on the same level.
Okay, and that's always something we want to like confirm from the prospect, like how much he's making per month. Okay.
Yes, because if not, you're gonna give him a random pricing that you're gonna think of that he's not gonna be able to afford, but you will not know because you don't know how much he's making.
Okay.
Or he's gonna tell you, "Oh, I closed 50 deals in the last year," but let's say it was fucking rental, and let's say he's getting some pennies of it. There is a reason why there is a high ticket closing and there is low ticket closing. because one makes money, the other one does not, unless it's a super high volume. There is a difference between a realtor that deals with luxurious properties where he's selling, let's say, 5 in a year, but he's able to make, let's say, 12 million with it. Or if there is a Jake selling 12 properties in a year, but these are, for example, fucking, how do you call this? Trailers. Like, I don't know if you know, but you can buy like a spot for a trailer. Like, it actually costs money in USA. Like they are neighborhoods of trailers, and it costs something. There are people buying them.
Never knew that.
These are the people that fuck cousins, but like that's besides the point. Because this is the only way how you can calculate who do you deal with, because then also based on the numbers, you can make an assumption who do you deal with in terms of is it an intellectual or is it an emotional buyer?
What's the
And
price cutoff
then-
point, sorry, for when they're emotional and like intellectual? What's like the price
The
point?
price?
Yeah, like is there a price point of when they're an intellectual and when they're an emotional?
It just really depends how much they like. There is not. It's most likely how much they make on monthly, and how long have they made it,
Okay.
and also if it's a profit or not. Because if, for example, let's say you will do electricians or solar or something like that, those people, they need solar, especially they need millions to start a company. So they're a million in debt. They have a running cost of $1 million. So if you're gonna charge them, let's say 5K in a month, it doesn't really change much to their life. They are in debt. But then if you are dealing with, let's say, Harley from Louisiana, where she's making 5,000 per month, that's most likely an emotional buyer. Intellectual, okay, do you guys know what an intellectual buyer is?
Someone who's kind of like a successful entrepreneur or business person.
Yes and no. An intellectual buyer is someone who has made money and understands how money works. Because then those people understand that you need to spend money to make more money.
Mm.
Because you can still find people who are emotional buyers and made fuck you money. Very often, for example, people who sell software. I actually had a meeting today, face to face with someone. A guy worked with fucking banking and air forces. He made fuck you money with software. If I will want to, funny enough, he needed a training on sales. Because I asked him just as a test a couple of questions, he has agreed to everything I said. Which means, yes, he made money. He doesn't know how it works though. And he doesn't understand sales. In that case, I could easily manipulate him emotionally and he will be easily able to pay whatever I want because he doesn't, in this case, he is blinded by emotions. Because I could literally tell him, oh, this is your goal, wonderful. We're gonna focus ourselves on, hitting this goal in this time frame, and this is important for you, wonderful. With intellectual buyer, you will just want to give him facts, numbers, ROI, calculations. As a matter of fact, if one of you will, for example, hop on a sales call with me and you will want to try to sell me something, I'm gonna get annoyed by stupid discovery questions. In my case, you just simply want to show me how much does it cost, what is it gonna do, how much is it gonna bring. Because if I'm gonna put 10,000, but I'm gonna get 11, I'm gonna be happy. Because then it means for me, I can put 100,000 and you're gonna give me 11 as in profit. The sad truth is a lot of people are emotional buyers. Because that's what I mean. Real estate market is very weird due to the fact that the last time I checked, I think it was from 2024, there are 3.7 billion million realtors in USA only. I'm not even counting Canada. Yes, there are probably some who retired, There are also people who gave up. There are probably people who are currently not able to work because California is, for example, burning. Southwest Louisiana is currently frozen. But still, like there's a lot of different people in real estate in USA, and all of them can sell, more or less. But most of them are going to be emotional buyers due to the fact that they have never made proper money with real estate. Because by the end of the day, real estate is very similar to entrepreneurship because you are only reliable on yourself. You can only rely on yourself. It's all about following up, catching up, this and that. That's why the way you're going to treat an emotional buyer is completely different to the way you're going to treat an intellectual buyer, because these are two different kinds of people. One is a 9-to-5 mindset, the other one is entrepreneurial. Does that make sense? I see nothings. I also see confusion on the face.
Crystal.
All right, now I'm gonna give you guys numbers. Please calculate. Who wants to ask me discovery questions?
I'll have a go.
Hello,
So-
Jake. You look like Jake the dog. I don't know if you ever watched Adventure Time.
No, I haven't. Okay. So
It will actually be so funny if you will be Chinese, because then I could call you Yellow, and you will definitely be Jake the dog.
bad. Okay. So I normally in Phoenix, houses are usually sold for around 700,000. Do you roughly sell in the same ballpark?
No. My average listing price is 1,349,000 and $879.
Okay. And what's your average? Usually the commission in Phoenix is around 5%. Would you be the same?
Well, that really depends on the listing. If I work with my brokerage or if I do it by myself, which percentage would you prefer?
The buy or sell, or the buy yourself.
By myself, that's kind of complicated because I'm gonna tell you the average. Is it fine? So it will
That's fine.
be 3.79.
Seven, 9. Okay.
Are you there?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, just doing the calculation there. So we'd say per house you must make around 51,000. Just rounding down, round down.
Well, on the average, yeah, I would say so.
Around 51,000. Okay. And how many houses would you sell a year, you think?
It honestly depends on the month.
What would your average for a year be?
Do you mean last year? Do you mean the year before that?
Let's say last year.
Well, I have sold 179 houses.
Okay. Okay, that's a good price.
What do you mean good price? I have not
Just-
hit my target.
Just for clients we've worked with before. For
Oh, so
qualifying.
your clients are more broke than me.
Not after they work with us.
Don't get me wrong, but like, are you even able to handle those numbers? Like, can you help me get those people as well? It's like, based on your reaction, I'm not quite sure if you're even working with people like me.
Like, what would you say there? Like, that's kind of like.
No, you fucked up. Your reaction was completely wrong.
Yeah, no, I know. I fucked it straight away. Like,
Yeah, because like you sounded weak and cheap for a second.
uh-huh. Yeah, I saw fucking 9 million and I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's a big number. Like,
Yes, but then why would you treat this person differently?
oh, because they're intellectual buyer. So you'd have to be a bit more strong with them.
But was your reaction intellectual?
Oh,
It was
no.
purely emotional because
emotional.
you have seen the number.
Uh-huh.
Do you
Yeah,
now see the difference?
100%. 100%.
By the way, guys, that was a perfect example of emotional reaction towards something. He saw the number and he was like, in his head, he was like, "Oh my fucking god!"
Literally. And then he goes and tells me that's a bad number. I was like, oh, okay.
Yes, because you need to understand. What if his target was 15?
Hmm.
You don't know his running costs.
That's true.
Maybe
Okay.
he spends it's all. Like,
Hmm. No, that's absolutely fair. Absolutely fair.
but that's why it's also important to know his goal.
Yeah.
Because yes, first of all, 179 closes, you will think good. Average listing price, you will think, okay, not bad. But you don't know his goals. Because if, for example, let's say his goal will be 15, it means he's fucking 6 million short. That's a huge fucking number in terms of like, because it will mean he will need one more year to hit that number.
Okay.
So you cannot be afraid of it. Because then the person is not going to see you at the same level.
Hmm. Okay. So yeah, something we can handle. Gotcha.
Look, I'm going to give you an example. There are even places, especially in fucking Dubai or generally in UAE, where I'm poor. I once was on a table with 3 people where I knew that they are worth billions. And their discussions were like, in between the discussion, I was just not saying anything. I was just sitting. It was like, okay. You need something? No, coffee, tea? Yes, no? Okay. Because in between their conversations, I have heard trillions with the T. These are the numbers that should fucking scare you, yes. But then you need to understand the last thing you want to see in an environment like this is to be seen as someone who is afraid of it or someone who is amazed by that number. Yes, those people can fucking buy and sell you all around. But then would you prefer to be someone who looks at them as if they would be on a pedestal? Or would you prefer to be able to speak to them freely and normally? So, for example, they can give you an opportunity. It's very similar to, I'm going to give you an example you can probably more relate to. Like a lot of people treat celebrities like unusually nice or very like penetrant. I don't know if that's even the fucking word I'm looking for. But like penetrant, what I mean by this is, let's say there was someone famous on the street and they're just running towards them. Like, hey, I'm a big fan. Can I take a picture? In this case, do you lose respect of this individual in his eyes? Yes. Why? Because it automatically means that you're putting this individual on a pedestal and yourself just underneath it. Which means you're not able to have a normal conversation with this individual where you can look this person in the eyes. And believe me or not, those people are normal humans as well. They shit, they eat, they sleep, they fuck. So they are capable of speaking with another human being freely and normally. And very often, because of how much money they make, or because of, for example, in celebrities, yes, because they are recognizable, they very rarely have normal communication with humans, unless they are other celebrities who can relate to their problems. So if you're going to be able to treat that individual as a normal human being, you will be surprised how well they're going to react towards you.
So kind of after you get that number, just instantly be like, okay, so is that your goal or was that kind of under your target? Kind of hint to that it was
No,
under.
you can just be like, in this case, yes. So you can be like, okay, so, well, in the last year, you've made roughly 9 million if you round it up. Okay, cool. And just out of pure curiosity, what was your like goal for the last year in terms of financial goal? 15? Oof. So you're 6 million short. So what happened there? Please walk me through it.
Okay.
Because then he's gonna be like, oh, fuck. He sees that I will need to work 1 additional year to hit that. Maybe he can relate. Do you guys want to play with more numbers, or does anyone has more questions? If not, we can also just end it here.
If
No,
you,
I'm good anyway.
if you step in a client that makes a million, just a million, not 9 million, but the build fee would be like the max of it.
Oh, no. In that case, 100% you're asking him, what do you think? How much does it cost? Because
Okay.
you need to understand in that case, the likelihood of you undercharging is gonna be super fucking high. Granted, 1 million is not that much, but like if you make, for example, 9 million, yes, you divide it by 12, it means he makes 750,000 in a month. So technically speaking, 10% is 75,000. You will charge 1% of his earning. He will genuinely think you're too cheap. But that's why you're more than welcome to just simply ask, okay, Jack, look, more than happy to, present you the pricing, but then do you have any questions? Is there anything else you will want me to clarify on before we move forward? Okay, cool. And then look, it's not gonna change anything to the pricing because I already have the pricing in my head based on your circumstances and based on your goals. But then just so I can also understand if we're on the same page when it comes to financial mindset, because then he can, it doesn't mean you're gonna hit the fucking number. It's not like, you're gonna go for the same number, because let's say the person's willing to pay 50,000, it doesn't necessarily mean he's every person who's a businessman and comes into a meeting, very often they have a number prepared that they are ready to pay. Especially when you're talking to people at that level. Doesn't necessarily mean that he will be happy to spend 50,000. But then if you're, for example, gonna hit him with, let's say, 35, so you're like, cool, just send me the contract over, send me the link. Do you prefer cash or crypto? I'm saying from experience, by the way. I had people literally just, I sent them the number. They're like, cool, let me send me the payment link, send me the contract, I'm gonna send it to my accountant, or do you prefer cash? I'm like, fuck, I fucked up. And then by the end of the meeting where we shook hands, I was like, by the way, just out of curiosity, how much were you willing to pay? He said 85. It's like, fuck. Emotional damage. Is it more clear for everyone?
Yep.
Does that answer your question, Activision?
Yep.
Okay. Any more questions?
Maybe one. Just for the example from my last sales calls, when those people were making around 10,000 per month, what would be the fair pricing in that case?
I'm so confident in saying that I told you that. Wait a second, I have it in my notes because I remember doing the calculations on the call with you.
Yes.
I'd be curious though for that number as well.
Yesterday.
Wait, was it? Okay. The relocation woman, was it the last call or was it the one before that?
Before that.
Can I give you the one for the relocation, because this is what I found on my notes?
Okay.
So on the relocations, from what I remember, yes, she was making roughly 8,000 per month, which the exact number is 7,680. So in that case, you can comfortably charge her 3.5 setup fee, then 1,000 ad spend, and after 3 months, let's say 800 retainer. Because the 800 retainer is not gonna hurt her. The setup fee is gonna put a little bit of fire under her ass, and ad spend is ad spend is something that needs to be put on later down the line. after 3 months, let's say, she can also boost it up because her operational cost is going to be lower.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have notes on the other one we calculated. What was the other's name? Do you remember the name?
Emerida. Maybe in your notes, Esmeralda.
Oh, fuck you. Wait a second. No, these are my calculations. These are my calls. I don't think I have it. I don't think I have it. But how much was she making roughly?
10,000. So basically the same number.
You can calculate if it makes it easier for you. I'm to maybe just like go close to at 50% of it when it comes to the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially when it comes to emotional buyers, you want to charge them something that will not necessarily bring them into pain, but bring them into a position where they're gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Because if someone is making 10,000 and they're gonna just pay 1,000, they are not gonna do the work. They feel like they have spent something. Like, good example is food. At certain point in entrepreneurship, food is such a useless expense. You don't really care how much you spend on a dinner, especially because very often you can also deduct it from tax. But like, besides the point, the amount of times I went on a date and I just brought, like, I told her, please bring me your resume so I can see if we can work together, because then you can deduct it from tax, because technically speaking, a business meeting. But generally, when it comes to emotional buyers, if it's going to make it easier for you, you can just simply calculate maybe like 50% and see if you can do anything in that price bracket.
Okay.
Because again, you don't know how much the person is spending. There are people who make 10,000 and they paid, for example, 15. Where does the money come from? You don't fucking know. Maybe, as I said, the husband is paying for everything. Or when it's, for example, a Muslim family, maybe Baba is paying for everyone. Especially when it's, for example, a daughter. Very often Baba is just taking care of her hobby, whatever it is. Any more questions?
Yes. I just thinking now about, so why is the build-up fee high and why is the monthly retainer, let's say, low if it's 800,000 per month, right? $800 per month.
Because retainer, okay. It's for them to understand what is your worth and that it takes work to build it up, which realistically speaking, you actually need to do with the first client because it's just gonna take you time to build it. After that, with any other client, as long as it's the same niche, you can just copy paste the whole backend and literally the build up fee is your profit. You can do whatever you want with it. The reason why retainer is lower because you want to keep the client for longer.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to stack up clients where, yes, you can collect heavy cash upfront, but you also want to keep them on a retainer where it's not going to hurt them, where they can comfortably work with you. Because if, for example, let's say you're spending 800 with someone on monthly, maybe 1.8 because of the ad spend, yes, but the person's bringing you additional 3 or 4 closes per month. You're not going to cut it because it's additional 4 closes, even if it's not a high number.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just simply want to, by the end of the day, stack up clients so you can actually scale with your agency. Because I made that mistake at the beginning of my journey where I will just collect heavy cash upfront and I will not set up any retainers when it comes to my clients in my agency. And I got fucked because at some point, if you're gonna lose control of your like monthly expenses, especially when, for example, it's gonna be, let's say, a month where something happens to the market, when something is gonna slow down, you either need to be very fucking good on like on top of your finances, otherwise you can just lose your company because you're gonna go bankrupt. Because you can have, for example, let's say 200 active clients, but you're not gonna have enough cash keeping the business alive.
How would that happen?
Hmm?
How would that happen if they're still paying monthly?
No, yes. If you have retainer, that works then.
Oh, so you would have had 200, but you had no retainer.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so the way I'm thinking about it now and why I'm asking is because after a few months, you're making money on the retainer fee. But after some time, you have to pay someone to do the work for you. Like all this thing with advertising and content creation.
Yes, but realistically speaking, you can handle yourself 5 to 8 clients.
Yes, I know that it's not this like my case, especially from the beginning, but I'm just thinking in a longer period of time. You know?
No. But then you need to understand, if you have, let's say, 5 clients paying you 800 retainer, you're making 4,000. You can comfortably find a good Indian, a hardworking Indian that is gonna run all the ads. And by that time, you also know how to do it. So you can actually either tell him, which will mean that he's gonna be cheaper, or you can find someone with experience and then just tell him exactly what it is that you're doing. And then you're actually going to be able to control it. And then because he doesn't know what he's doing, you can negotiate on the price. So let's say you're gonna have 5 clients. Everyone is bringing you 800 retainer, means you're at 4,000. You can comfortably find someone for 1K. Or you can even have someone who is just, I know there are media buyers who do it per client. So for example, let's say 250 per client. Which means you're still 250 in profit with every single, no, I'm retarded. We said 800, we didn't say 500.
3,000.
So yes, so you're 550, 550 per month in profit, which will mean by the end of the month, you're at 2.7 in profit, 2.75 to be exact. Cool. Then you can just stack up more clients.
Yes.
Because then you don't even care about service delivery, it's running. And you can just stack up more clients. Or then you can actually also experiment with, for example, like performance deals. Like you need to understand at certain level, like I don't want to teach you guys that yet, but at a certain level of your business, you can comfortably have a conversation from a business owner to a business owner and be like, look, Jake, I'm going to be honest with you. Tell me, what do you prefer? I have 3 different options, and which we can go to just based on your business and your circumstances and on your goal. I can either fuck you in the upfront, I can fuck you on the revenue share, or I can fuck you on the performance deal. Which one would you prefer?
Neither. None.
Yeah, this is not how business works. You will need to pick one. Like you will genuinely need to, because at this point, this would be a conversation between 2 intellectual business owners. So he would understand the value of it, and on the basis that he's cash heavy, he would prefer to be fucked in the upfront, so he doesn't owe you too much in the back end. Because you have results, he sees you and he understands, okay, he knows what he's doing. Which bending position will they prefer? It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Because it could be either, for, let's say upfront will be higher, but then let's say retainer will be lower, or let's say you will get a percentage of retainer, or let's say you will get a percentage of annual. It's literally dependent on the business. Also dependent on the industry and stuff like that, because I'm currently thinking about software.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just thinking about it, like I said, that after some time you are only making money from a retainer, so why not to have like higher retainer in order to make more money later. Especially when you can.
I can tell you why, because you're retarded. Do you realize that with every single client, then the build-up fee is your cash?
Yes.
Okay. Let's say by the example we said, yes? Let's say it's gonna be 800 retainer. Let's say you have charged. Can we agree that 5K is realistic?
Mhm.
Cool. What the fuck are you gonna do with 25,000? Are you planning to go to a strip club and spend it in the night?
No.
Okay. Are you gonna give up on sales? Are you gonna be satisfied with 5 clients?
No, of course not.
Cool. So it means you're also gonna get more and more cash coming in, correct?
Yes.
You need to understand the retainer is basically gonna be there for you to have a safe like buffer, because then with the retainers you can simply pay all your running expenses. And then everything else that is coming through is fun money. I'm saying fun money, that's a little bit like, also dependent like what do you guys strive and what do you guys like what do you guys work for? At that point it's fun money. Because it's your decision what you want to do with it. And also don't forget that by that point you can also comfortably increase the retainers. You need to understand retainers are there to guarantee you that you're going to be able to keep your business alive. And then if you want to use your fund money to, for example, hire out, optimize everything, scale everything, cool. That's doable. Unless you're going to spend 25,000 in a month, like, please tell me how. Unless you buy alcohol, but like, that will be your own stupidity.
What's the max
Yes.
of clients you can take care of alone? Like
only by yourself, or also with, for example, someone who is managing the chatting on social media?
only yourself, let's say. 5,
8 to 10.
8 to 10, okay.
Because
enough.
one VA will be able to handle at least 8 clients when it comes to chatting. So realistically speaking, with the all backend and everything, you will be able to handle 10 clients. Because as I said, if you're gonna have one client and you build everything for him, it's just literally copy paste for the other ones. Even when it comes to templates of scheduling, posting, stuff like that, it can be the same thing in just different colors, different font, different pictures, because you're also gonna use the pictures of the individual you're working with. Even when it comes to, for example, Reels or something like that, I don't know who has here a MacBook. You can use Apple Intelligence, or you can use simply ChatGPT. Just, I work with 5 realtors. This is the idea of a reel. Give me 5 different options. And again, but at that point, you also have enough finances to just simply hire out. And you also have enough knowledge. And also, I forget, you have me, you have Ismael, we can also help you just hire out. Because by that time, you also know what you're doing. So you can comfortably just also either train someone to do that for you, or find someone who you're going to be like, okay, this person's going to be able to do so. I always take the long path, where I prefer to hire someone who is not that experienced, because it's an empty mass that I can form into whatever I want. And from my experience, these are the best team members I ever have. I have just been burnt with people who have too much experience, because similar to, for example, like, let's say for chatting, yes, if you're going to hire a copywriter, very often, dependent of how they learned copywriting, they're going to have too formal language. They're going to not come across as human. Because, like, you know, they're going to look at all the commas, all the dots on the caption, stuff like that. Like, if you speak to someone as a human, you don't really care. Anything else? Oh, okay. If no one has any more questions, I will actually want to ask you guys. I'm gonna do a poll anyways, but please, after each other, let's start with Matthew.
Mhm.
What will be the best time you will want to have outreach group call and sales group call?
I only can do 1 45-minute group calls, and in that case, it would be 10 p.m. my time, which is I think 1 p.m. Dubai time, 1 a.m. Dubai time.
So I have 1 a.m. Activision.
2 a.m.
Oh,
Dubai
sorry,
time.
sorry. What the fuck do you mean 45? We are in this meeting since 2 hours.
Yes, I know, but it used to be 45-minute group calls, like 4 in
Okay.
a row. That's why I say
Yes,
45.
but that okay. On the basis that you will have an outreach call, because we are also currently building something in the backend, it's just gonna make your life easier. If you will have an outreach call and group and sales call, sales group coaching call,
Mhm.
realistically speaking, what time frames will that work for you? You said sales 1 a.m., but then will it mean you will, for example, be able to attend the outreach at 12 a.m.? That will be 9 p.m. your time?
Probably
And
yes.
I want to say I remember what's in your calendar, not at 9 p.m.
Yeah, and
Ah,
sometimes sales
enjoy.
calls.
I'm sure. Oh, cold calls. Oh fuck no! That's one above. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm also doing sales calls in that time.
Okay. Okay. So 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. So Activision.
2 a.m. Dubai time.
Which one?
Code outreach.
Outreach 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. sales.
Yeah. I'm in the Est time,
You
USA.
guys
Oh.
are very fun to work with. Jake. By the way, how is your promotion? Any updates?
It's fine. Gives me a bit more free time. That's all.
I don't know, guys, if you heard about it. Mr. Jake has been promoted. I'm pleased to tell has increased in his paycheck.
It's the
It has been
dumbest
increased
increase.
by 50 cents.
I'm rolling in it. Rolling in it.
What time would work best for you?
2 a.m. But I think yeah, 2 a.m. 2 a.m. probably the best. 2
You
a.m. to
mean
3
2 a.m. outreach, 3 a.m.
sales? Yeah, that probably work best.
Interesting. A Chinese, I don't know if I want to even ask you. Like, I don't know when was the last time I saw you on Discord.
Anything after 3 a.m. your time should work.
What fucking time zone are you on?
I'm in Eastern.
Wait,
Oh,
he's in a
yeah.
worse. Wait,
Yeah.
wait, you're in Central Activision.
I
Or you're
am
in,
in the same of New York and North Carolina. Like now
That's
it's
Eastern.
six.
yeah, okay, so you're in Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so. Oh, fuck. I just realized the problem I was facing recently. That people on the left, I'm saying on the left because Jake is here, Matthew is
Mhm.
here. Those people, those bad people from the poor countries, just joking. Those people, it's too late for them, and for those people, it's too soon for you guys. Correct? Because what time is it now? Right now?
Like,
Eastern.
Eastern is
Yeah.
like 6:30 p.m.
yeah.
Yeah. So realistically speaking, you're, for example, just getting home from work. Correct? Something like
Yeah,
that.
you guys are like 9 hours ahead, if I'm correct.
And please don't even put me in the same bracket. I'm in Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai is 9 hours ahead.
Oh, I was thinking you speak about them. Ugh. I was thinking you were putting me in the same bracket.
11
Okay,
where I
so
am anyway. I think before 5 hours. Those poor Europeans.
okay, so you say everything after 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Getting
your time, yes.
fuck. My calculations have been completely destroyed. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let me figure it out, guys. Thank you for the participation in my questionnaire. Feel free to fuck off. I see you guys tomorrow.
I wanted to I still
Oh,
wanted
yes,
to
I
ask
know
you.
you stay. Yes, I know you stay. Actually, one more thing. Would you guys like? I'm gonna figure out the time that works best for like both parties. I don't know how. I'm gonna try my best. But would you guys find it beneficial if, for example, I will set up like email automation where like recordings of the group calls will also be sent to you?
Wouldn't hurt
Okay, would you actually fucking watch it?
if I'd
I-
missed it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there is a chance I'll miss the first call. Depending. I've got a commitment.
Oh my! I think I have an idea. Ooh.
So is there only going to be one outreach and one sales call?
No, I'm currently trying to figure out what time works best for all of you, because I have noticed that people from like European continent, it's too late for them, and that people from American continent, it's just simply like too soon for you. Like it's the middle of the day. I mean, middle of the day, it's almost evening, but yeah.
Ireland's a nice country. I'll come here. Makes it easier for me then.
You were very close to London. You know, I will get my arm will be fucking robbed if they will see this. It will just fucking yeah.
Okay, straight off.
Again, feel free to pack off. Kevin, please stay.